A través de todo lo que has aprendido en el ministerio, lo que has recibido aquí.
And what did he do? Like he prayed, he believed God.
Cuéntame del milagro que Dios hizo en tu hijo.
Sorry. It's hot. And I feel nervous. So sorry.
Es cierto, yo soy cristiana, yo le voy a creer a Dios por la sanidad de mi hijo.
And I told God, I just want your will.
Si yo no hubiera estado en este lugar, mi papá estuviera muerto, porque yo no hubiera actuado de esa manera.
I just felt like my life was ruined. And I was like, bro, I hate you, devil.
Mi testimonio fue un rompimiento por mi casa. Lo había comprado en $307,000 y después pues no lo pude pagar. Y estuve casi 4 años la casa cerrada y empecé a orar por mi casa. Empezamos a interceder. El banco me llamó, el Banco of America, y me dijo, mira Mario, vamos a hacer la modificación tuya. Y él pues hizo la obra. De $307,000 me lo bajaron a $160,000. Todo lo hizo él, yo no lo busqué, oré por eso y ese rompimiento es el que vengo hoy a compartir con todos ustedes.
Well, in total I've been here 10 years, but my marriage, it was 12 years, I couldn't have babies. And that time in my life, I decided to go do an IVF, in vitro, so, take it to the medicine now. So when I came to this house, basically, I just entered and I knew that the Lord was here. I didn't know how, what, where, but it was tangible in my skin, in my heart. I felt it. Prophet gave me a word and she said, within 3 months, you're gonna be pregnant. Another sign was when Dad, in the altar, he called out the couples that were 12 years and 18 years that they couldn't have babies. Oh my God, I ran up there. I just believed in my bone I was gonna have it. Within less than 3 months, I got pregnant, my first baby. Not only did the miracle once, because on the second one, it took 9 years for the second one now. Eternally grateful for this house, and that's why I decided to work here too, because of that.
Mi esposa y yo siempre la pasamos ayunando. Mi madre por 4 veces fue a la embajada americana en Colombia y le negaron la visa. Y dentro de ese ayuno, el Señor le muestra la visa a mi esposa y le dice, dile a tu esposo que yo tengo la visa de su madre. Y yo comienzo un ayuno severo, un ayuno más fuerte. Y en una reunión celebrando el cumpleaños de mi jefa, ya acabando la reunión, la jefa dice, quiero comentarles algo, tuve un sueño con Dios. Y el Dios me dijo algo de Aquiles. Me dijo, dile a Aquiles que yo no me he olvidado de él. Y ahí mismo yo recordé lo de la visa de mi madre. Después llegué, hablé con mi mamá y le dije, mamá, mire, vea, la perseverancia, en la persistencia está el éxito. Cuando hacen la solicitud por internet, le dicen, dígale a su mamá que la visa se la vamos a llegar por correo. Y el 26 de septiembre, mi mamá me mandó una foto diciendo, aquí está la visa, aquí está la visa. Y yo le doy gloria a mi Dios, porque en esos ayunos es donde Él se ha glorificado.
Más o menos hace como 6 meses mi hijo fue a las evaluaciones, los check-ups regulares, y la doctora comenzó a chequear que uno de sus testículos no había descendido. Entonces estamos a peligro, me dice ella, de que él pueda quedar estéril y que no pueda tener hijos. Y una cosa que sí tenía paz en mi corazón era que esa era una oportunidad para yo ver la mano de Dios. Esa misma semana tenía la evaluación con la especialista. Ahí en el cuarto yo cerré la puerta y le dije a mi hijo, papi, vamos a declarar que hoy vas a escuchar la confirmación de tu milagro, vamos a creerle a papá Dios. Y estuvimos orando y cuando llegó la especialista al cuarto, inmediatamente que ella le baja el pantalón, él se comienza a reír, confirma exactamente que ahí están sus 2 testículos, que hasta yo misma que había tratado de chequearlo, no lo pude ver con tanta exactitud como lo vi en ese momento.
One of my personal testimonies is that I have several degrees, and I studied mechanical engineering, aerospace engineering, but God spoke to me in a supernatural encounter that Apostle had 6 years ago in Bolivia. And in Bolivia, God spoke to me and said, give me your talents, give me your life, and I'll give you back your dreams. And one of my dreams was always to be able to own my house, to provide a stable environment for my family. That represented a financial sacrifice to come work for the ministry. But I was very thankful to God that I was able to trust God with my finances, trust God with my career. And one of the biggest testimonies that my wife and I can share today is that we are the owners of our home. God supernaturally not only gave us a beautiful home, but He also provided all the money for the down payment. We understand that that's a result of being faithful to God and being obedient to His word, and because of the open heavens that are over our house, thankful to our spiritual parents that God has allowed us to be able to work under.
For a while, I had been feeling a lump on my left breast, and I remember I was very terrified of going to the doctor. I finally went. I got diagnosed with 2 tumors, actually. He told me there's a risk that if you don't take it out, they grow and they become malignant. And I remember I came to a 6 p.m. service, and Apostle, he just called out. He said, there's a woman here, there's a young lady here who has 2 lumps on her left breast, and she's already been diagnosed that it's benign. But God wants to take out those tumors. I was like, what? That is me. So I ran up there, and I had a woman pray for me, and she told me, she goes, very discreetly, just, can you just test and see if they're still there? And I'll never forget the moment where I put my hand on where the lump was. There was a hole there. Like, there was a hole where the lump was. The lump was large. It was pretty large. I couldn't believe it. So I went up and I gave testimony of that miracle, how God just, he spared me this surgery. I was so happy. Like, praise God for that.
Mi hija no podía tener hijos. Ella estaba viviendo inicialmente en unión libre, pero el Señor lo que colocó en mi corazón era que ella tenía que casarse. Obedeció, pero ya pasaban 2 años y ella no podía tener bebés. Entonces, clamándole al Señor, yo venía al altar todas las mañanas a la oración de la mañana y le decía, Señor, yo sé que tú tienes algo especial para mi hija, y lo que ella más anhelaba era un bebé. Yo estaba en ese entonces en las clases de nuevos mentores, de los mentores, y vino una impartición a través del pastor Resino. Él dijo, bueno, los que crean, vamos a orar por las mujeres que no pueden tener hijos. Yo me apropié de la palabra, pasé adelante y me puse en la posición de mi hija. Y le dije, Señor, yo creo en esa palabra y yo la tomo y me apropio, Señor. Al poco tiempo, ella llegó a la casa. Yo le dije, mami, ¿su merced cree que Dios le puede dar un hijo? Y ella me dijo, sí, mamá. Oramos, el Espíritu Santo, pusimos las manos sobre ella. Y entonces ella aún todavía no creía. Pero cuando ella quedó embarazada, ella se sorprendió porque todavía había duda en su mente, pero de verdad que el Señor dice que todos los que creemos y confiamos en Él nunca seremos avergonzados.
When I got here, I didn't know that I had a purpose. I had a lot of lack of identity, a lot of rejection. And if there's one thing that really marked my life, it was about 6 years ago. I was graduating from the Institute. And in the middle of the graduation, the Apostol Guillermo Maldonado, my spiritual father, he stopped the service, the graduation, and called my name and just began to prophesy over me. And in that prophecy, he declared my calling. He declared that, God had called me into the ministry, that I would be preaching in the nations, that God had set apart a wife for me as well. And he just prophesied so many things that it really broke me down, and it just showed me how God can be so faithful and how God was with me at that moment. I can say so many things about what God has done this year, 2016, and I'm so grateful because God has provided for me. He provided for me my suitable helper, my wife. He provided for our wedding. He provided a place for us to live. He blessed me with a new job where I'm serving and I'm working in the kingdom, which I believe is my calling. And he's just been providing for us every step of the way, strengthening our marriage, strengthening our families. He's been faithful. We've been faithful, but he's been even more faithful.
Este ha sido un año donde hemos tenido la oportunidad de dar lo que de gracia hemos recibido con nuestro apóstol. Nuestros padres espirituales nos han enseñado muchas cosas y este ha sido el año donde hemos ido a las naciones a entrenar equipos de alabanza, en las diferentes naciones a donde vamos. Siempre entrenamos a cantantes, músicos que comparten con nosotros la administración y los entrenamos con todo lo que son las atmósferas, los cánticos proféticos, fluir con su pastor, así como nosotros fluimos con el nuestro. Ha sido un año de bendición por eso.
My wife and I, we saw God's blessings over our lives. We currently have a 5-bedroom house. We have 2 cars that are completely paid for. Working for the Department of Evangelism, we saw us taking over literally apartment complexes. We took over neighborhoods, even our disciples, bringing so many people to the retreats. And I thank God for who I am and what I have, but I also thank Dad and Mom is because of their prayers, is because they believed in me, why I even work at church. I am who I am because of them. I'm a result of their obedience. I'm a result of their obedience, their relationship with God, and the fact that they've believed in me.
Recuerdo que en julio del 2015, orando para la Casa de Paz, él me habló de que me iba a mover y yo no entendía por qué. Entonces a los 3 días me dieron layoff del trabajo. Cuando llegó cercano a octubre, me dieron la oportunidad de servir en CAP, como transportando a los speakers y transportando a algunos adoradores. Y me recuerdo que el primer día transporté al apóstol de la India y él me preguntó que cuál era mi petición de oración y yo le comenté que no tenía trabajo. Entonces él oró por mí y me dijo que Dios tenía mi trabajo, pero quería cambiar mi corazón. Ahí tuve la oportunidad ahí conocí al pastor Oscar, ese mismo día lo conocí y me dijo que me iba a dar una oportunidad para ver si aplicaba. Y entonces el favor y gracia se dio que al siguiente mes, a final de mes, me dieron el trabajo aquí en Haití.
Going back to a few years back in CAP, my son started to consider colleges. And he called me and he was a little upset because he knew that he wanted to go into medicine. And he knew that we just didn't have the resources from a single mom. So when he called, all I could tell him was, well, you work on your part and I'll work on mine, meaning I'll pray. And I did. Not only did he get a full ride scholarship for the University of Tampa, everything was paid for. His room and board, schools, supplies, books, everything. Then on top of that, he decided to go to, as I said, a medical school. So that was an additional funding that came miraculously. He didn't think that he could get in, and the money just wasn't there. So again, I took it to the Lord and I said, I don't have the money. And Lord and behold, he ended up getting into MIT, which is one of the best Ivy League schools. And now he's into his doctorate program. He's 26 years old, and his professor just recently told him this year he was going to be able to finish a year faster. So this is where I see the acceleration taking place with my son.
Bueno, Dios ha sido fiel conmigo porque a partir de CAP, en el ayuno que hicimos como congregación, nos pidieron que hiciéramos una lista con nuestras peticiones y yo pacté con el Señor en privado. Y el Señor este año concedió uno de los deseos más grandes de mi corazón, que era ir a Israel. Y el Señor me concedió ese anhelo de mi corazón de una manera sobrenatural. Yo soy mamá soltera, tengo 2 hijos y no tenía yo los medios para costearme ese viaje, pero el Señor lo hizo. Y Él me demostró que Él está conmigo y que Él es Jehová Jireh y que Él es mi proveedor y que Él concede los deseos de mi corazón.
This year God's been faithful. Although we lost our home to a flood, He provided for us a place to stay. He used people to help us rebuild. He gave us encouragement when we needed it the most. When we fell down, He lifted us up. And we saw His love reflected in our co-disciples, in our mentors, and in the body of Christ. Also, we had a second baby this year. And even though the doctor said that it was risky to have a second baby, that there was a possibility the baby may be born with a birth defect, God supernaturally intervened and the baby was born beautiful, healthy, and no complications. And I'm grateful to God for having done all that He's done and for what He continues to do for our family.
Cuando nosotros nos unimos con mi esposo, estábamos orando porque nuestra vida financiera tenía muchos altibajos, más bajos que altos, y era siempre como un ciclo, siempre pasaba en ciertas épocas del año. Nos unimos con él, oramos y clamamos. La respuesta de Dios fue inmediata. Vinimos a la iglesia, nuestro apóstol dio una exhortación para que hiciéramos un voto, un pacto con Dios. Hicimos el pacto por $1,000, que no era mucho, pero en la situación financiera en la que nos encontrábamos con mi esposo era un sacrificio. Lo hicimos de corazón, lo dimos, y a los 3 meses nosotros teníamos varias deudas y una de esas grandes era $40,000 que estábamos debiendo al banco. A los 3 meses recibimos una carta del banco. Es algo sencillo, de pronto para la gente cree que $40,000, pero para nosotros era plata. Y el hecho de que el Señor se hubiera encargado de que esa carta hubiera llegado a la casa y cuando la abrí, su deuda está cancelada.
Well, I was in a car accident back in May, where I was driving and a car just hit me on my right side of the car. And at that time I felt a little bit of pain, but I just didn't really pay attention to it. And I went to go take an MRI, and the MRI it actually came back stating that I had 3 herniated discs. I started taking some therapy. It wasn't getting better. One morning prayer for employee prayers, that prophet was there, mom was there. She felt from God to call those people who had been having back pain. And she started praying for me, and she declared it. And that instantly I felt something that happened. Some of the things that I couldn't do before was I started having problems even taking my 21-month-old baby a shower. I couldn't bend down. So ever since that day that she prayed for me, my back would just automatically felt better. What those 25 visits of the chiropractic didn't do, God was gonna do it that day. So I just knew that it was time for me to get healed.
My husband had been without a job for a few months. I got the job here at church, and then a week after, he got a job for a job application that he was applying for. He got the job there. So we both started a new job at the same time. I think it opened like the heavens for it to outpour in our life, because within the time that I started working here, which was March, to now, him and I have paid $15,000 in debt that we had. Before we couldn't. We had this debt on top of us and we would just pay the monthly payments. I would like to thank Apostol for being an example in my life. We serve 100% because we see the way he serves. And we see that, he never stops serving. I want to be able to serve like how he serves. I want to thank Mom for a lot of things. I think Mom has been an example to me about what a woman of prayer is. I want to be that type of woman, I want to be the type of woman that can pray, can intercede, can shake kind of like the spiritual realm so that I can see something manifest in my life. And I want to thank her for being an example for that.
We were watching one Sunday morning online from Missouri, is where I used to live, and they announced a couple positions online that were available. I was actually here, I had driven in for a Sunday service, and thank God they were able to get me into an interview. A couple weeks later, she called me back. She said, yeah, we need your help, and would you be willing to, because it wasn't even the position I applied for, wasn't the position that I was hired for. God has provided me finances. Financially, he's stabled me. He's healed me physically, mentally, and emotionally. I can't put into words how much I want to thank Prophet and Apostle for their prayers and for the dedication of staying committed to the people here.
I was working as a substitute teacher, and as you know, that's not a steady job. It was whenever I was on call most of the time. And so, making a little money, being a single mom, that was very, very difficult for me. I remember after many prayers, one specific night, I had an encounter with God. And I could hear the voice of God saying, "What do you want?" And at that moment, I was crying and I told God, "I just want your will." I started describing exactly what I wanted. I said, "Well, Lord, I want a job in an office from 8 to 5. I want to be close to the church, something that is not interfering with serving God." And I remember that in less than a week, that was on a Friday, by Monday, I was called by the church and they offered me a job. They asked me to come in. I felt so much peace because it was something that I prayed for. And that same week, they offered me the job and I've been working here ever since.
Mi hijo, cuando yo estaba embarazada, me dijeron que tenía un tumorcito en su cabeza. Y de primero que le digan eso a uno es bien duro. Yo fui con mi abuela y ella es católica. Y me miró a los ojos y me dijo, "No llore que usted es cristiana". Y entonces esas palabras impactaron mi vida, porque hacían como un eco en mi oído. "No llore que usted es cristiana". Y digo yo, es cierto, yo soy cristiana, yo le voy a creer a Dios por la sanidad de mi hijo. Después le hicieron los exámenes, lo llevé al neurólogo, ¿verdad? Como era necesario llevarlo. Y ya luego, a los 9 meses, lo volvimos a llevar para su chequeo regular. Y entonces ya cuando fuimos, nos dijeron que nuestro hijo no tenía ningún tumor, ningún quiste, nada, que estaba completamente sano, que lo miraban como un niño inteligente, y nosotros hemos visto cómo Dios hizo el milagro en nuestro hijo.
The apostles started to teach about the year Jubilee and how it is a year that you can be released from debt. Last year, 2015 and into 2016, we decided to believe God and to act on the apostolic word. The year of Jubilee started in October of 2015. We sowed a seed into the apostle, and when we gave it to him, he gave us a prophetic word. He says, we told him we wanted to pay off our home, and he said, "It will not be one lump sum. It will be little by little, and you will be able to pay it in a very short period of time." By the December of 2015, entering in 2016, we had already paid half of the loan. Contracts started to come in, larger amounts, just like they had in the beginning. By October, the end of September, we paid our loan, our mortgage, and October shows a zero balance.
Una noche, editando el video para CAP, estaba editando a este pastor que es de Lesotho, África, y me impactó tanto porque un hombre había resucitado en África. Pero más me impactó que en esa misma noche mi hermana me llamó de Guatemala, y lo que pude escuchar fue: "Mi papá no responde, mi papá no respira, está como muerto, no se mueve". Él recientemente había sido operado a corazón abierto. Él prácticamente no estaba al 100%. Yo pensé, mi papá estaba muerto ya. Para ese entonces ya habían pasado 20 a 25 minutos. Se me vino este testimonio del pastor. Yo lo tenía ahí en la pantalla de mi lugar de trabajo, y vi al hombre que había resucitado con su papel, donde él decía que él estaba muerto y ahora estaba vivo. Yo dije, si este hombre que viene de tan lejos, viene de miles y miles de kilómetros y recibe esta impartición, y él va al otro lado del mundo y la pone en práctica, ¿por qué yo no la puedo poner si yo estoy aquí? El Espíritu Santo pasó al frente y yo supe que era el Espíritu Santo porque mi actitud cambió. En ese momento mi hermana me llamó de nuevo. Ella iba en la ambulancia. Yo le dije a mi hermana, hermana, active el altavoz de su teléfono que quiero hablarle a mi papá. Y empecé literalmente a gritar, aliento de vida sobre este cuerpo. La llamada se cortó. Estuve como 10 minutos en el suelo, llorando, clamando. A los 15 minutos, mi hermana me llama. Ya estaban en el hospital. Y me dice, hermano, aquí hay una revolución. Mi papá se levantó. está sentado en la cama recibiendo auxilio, pero él está como si nada. Si yo no hubiera estado en este lugar, mi papá estuviera muerto, porque yo no hubiera actuado de esa manera. Y eso es lo que he aprendido en este lugar.
In 2014, I woke up in the morning and I had severe pains in the right side of my abdomen, and I thought that was awkward. It was weird. So my husband looks at me, he's like, do you want to go to the hospital? I was like, I think I should. They had ran like a couple of tests and everything like that. Then they started taking MRIs, PET scans, and all different type of tests. And then on the third day of me being there, the doctor finally comes in and he tells me, we found cysts in your ovaries, but we also found cancer that is forming and growing within your uterus. So we're gonna have to take out your ovaries, we're gonna have to take out your uterus, and after that you're gonna have to do chemo because since it came out of your uterus. And I was crying, I was literally broken because I'm thinking, I've been married a couple of years, you're telling me I can't give my husband children, we can't have children, when my heart is for children, I love kids. I remember screaming and shouting like, God, I tithe, I serve. Why I have to go through this? Why are you putting me through this? I don't understand. I just felt like my life was ruined. And I was like, bro, I hate you, devil. One minute I would be like, God, I hate you. Why could you do this? But then the next minute I'm like, you know what, God, I know you're gonna do something. On the 7th day, they took me to do the surgery. My husband was there in the morning while they were getting me ready for the surgery, and he puts his hand on my stomach and he had anointing oil and he prayed over me. And I remember feeling a fire in my stomach. I remember feeling it and crying. And I remember waking up after the surgery and the doctor came out and he told us that out of courtesy, we did a biopsy. And when we did the biopsy, what was on the scans and what was on the MRI is no longer there. And he was certain, and the doctor made sure he said that he was certain that it was there. So they found reason to not take any of my organs out of my body. Now I'm at a place where nobody can tell me that God can't heal. No one can tell me that God can't restore, that He can't transform. If you're not receiving a healing, it's because you're not putting a demand. It's because you're not truly believing who He is. You're doubting God, and you need to stop doubting God, because I doubted God and God had mercy on me. But don't live off of mercy. Believe and know that God can heal you the way that He did me. I'm just so grateful for that opportunity.
De corazón estoy muy agradecido.
We will be eternally grateful to him, to Prophet Anna for her prayers.
Estoy agradecida con el Señor por este año.
I have found a mother and a father in them.
I want to thank Prophet and Apostle.
She's been an example to me.
Words, to be honest, can't really explain, as well as my wife, she admires Prophet.
Gracias, papá. Gracias, mamá.
And I'm grateful to God.
Bueno, me siento más que agradecida.
I would say thank you, Mom, for your prayers.
Le doy muchas gracias por su esfuerzo.
I am who I am because of them.
Muchas gracias a nuestros padres espirituales.
So I'm just grateful to God because He's blessed us with everything that we need.
Gracias, Apóstol. Gracias, Profeta.
Thank you.
Dad, on behalf of my wife and I love you. We are thankful.
Gracias al apóstol, gracias a la profeta.
I'm so grateful for this house.
Estoy bien agradecido.